Hello there, welcome back to the channel. My name is David, and this wonderful day of spring, we're watching our Magnolia stellata come to life, and perhaps one of the best years it's had since we planted it about 22 years ago. Just marvelous with all the white blossoms that can be seen all around the block.
When this magnolia blooms in spring, you know spring is here in Ontario. It's an early bloomer, and therefore there's some times in April where we've had the last freezing rain or the last frost, and the magnolia will be in full bloom, but then it gets frozen in time, and then the leaves or the blooms will dry up and fall to the ground without the beautiful magical display. But this year, it was not. We had the perfect conditions for it to show its glory, and it was blooming in its magical splendor.
When the spring storms come around, the heavy rains and the winds, you lose all those leaves overnight sometimes, but not this spring. It stuck around for 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, we say leaves, but the
Well,
actual blooms grow on branches without the leaf.
right, these
So
are blossoms.
those are blossoms. So we would lose the blossom, and it would be so sad. But we just had this weather that was just beautiful, and the tree has bounced back from so many challenges. It's root pruned, it's been um, branch pruned, and so therefore it's been a pleasure to see it come back this way.
And the sister tree in the front yard, the saucer magnolia, is also coming up.
Yes, it was a much smaller shrub to begin with. It was a much tinier tree to begin with, sapling. The one in the backyard is the Stella, and that was about 5.5 feet tall when we got it. But the saucer magnolia was maybe 3 feet tall when we got it, and it has also had its challenge. And this year, the blossoms and buds look glorious as well.
A nice vase of tulips we have in our kitchen because we like to have the cut flowers indoors. Daffodils are up as well. And now we'll go into the garden studio.
We're in the studio today because the weather has turned.
Again.
It's raining,
Yeah.
but those blooms are still hanging on to that tree. So it's cool today. So we're going to be doing some potting up in the garden studio. In this area, this is where all the dirt happens. It's a potting station and planting station for a variety of different bulbs, from winterizing to planting bulbs. And today we're planting a variety of summer bulbs. We're planting begonias and calla lilies. We have several variety of calla lilies today. We have Captain Ventura, and in the past I have found that the calla lilies are a gem in the spring garden. They will bloom again consecutively throughout the summer months, but I've just been able to gather so many bulbs. My harvest is quite large, and I have really built up quite the collection of calla lily.
When you say they bloom consecutively, how many seasons can you get out of these bulbs?
You can get as many seasons as long as your bulbs remain healthy.
You pack them away.
I pack them away in boxes. Right. I believe I have a video that we showed how we box up our calla lilies, canna lilies, and begonias. For all our spring and summer bulbs gets packed away, and I just took them out of the box, and they already have sprouts on the edges of them.
I love how the leaves are still wrapped around the bloom.
So this is an example. I take them out of the box, I spray them with a little bit of water, put them in soil, and bring them out to the greenhouse. Now this is a video on what happens is that I take them out to the greenhouse, and the leaves start coming up just like those that you see here. And At the same time, your blooms are also coming up with its color. It's a magical plant, and I love it.
It's a fast bloomer.
It's a fast bloomer. I will have blooms by June.
Mm.
And then it will continue to bloom for me. So this is a small collection of Calla lilies that I have here. And now I'm potting up some begonia. And this is a quite large tuber. It's I've had it maybe about 4 years now. And it started sprouting in the box as well. So now I'm getting that potted up.
And that's quite the dirt stash you have under the counter there, my dear.
Well, you made this area very convenient for me. The garden cart I think I've had for at least 25 years.
The greatest thing about the garden cart, it fits even the largest bags of soil you can get from the nursery or Home Depot. You can just dump the whole thing in the garden cart and wheel it out to the garden or work in the garden studio.
I much prefer that than a wheelbarrow. And so that's why we've had this one and not exchange it for anything else. And I think you've changed the wheels for me already.
Yeah.
But I really love it. I love it, the potting station. I can continue my garden work inside in a warm, dry place because the greenhouse isn't big enough for me to work in there. So I really needed a potting station where I can get all my chores done. And I reuse my broken plates from my kitchen.
You also reuse the quartz cutouts from the kitchen rental.
Yes, the guys installed parts of the actual quartz countertop from the kitchen and repurposing and reusing every little bit of everything.
Well, because you're paying for it.
You're paying for the quartz countertop, so you might as well use the fill.
That's right. That's right.
So I have a fancy top
you
for
upped your game.
I up my game.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just coming along quite well here. So we've got four containers here.
So all these containers are going to go into the greenhouse. I will plop them in the garden cart and wheel them around to the greenhouse, and they will be in there until they start to sprout. And I'll be ahead of the game because we cannot plant safely until May 24th.
Even with the heat on? Because you wanted me to turn on the heat in the greenhouse.
I can't plant these outside in the garden.
No.
Until right. May 24th.
Oh, I see.
You can turn on the heat in the greenhouse, but I can't plant them outside.
Yeah, anything, right.
Right. So this really helps me to get at least 4 weeks ahead of the game. And they will continue. I will continue to keep these in the greenhouse until after May 24th. Until I see a good strong growth, and then I will take them out and decide where they go from there.
And they're out of the elements. They're safe from the rabbits, plants, wind, storms.
Well, I don't know if they're safe from the rabbits. So far, so good. We haven't seen any so far this spring.
One of our projects coming up here was to redo the backsplash. We had little sticky flowers there for a long time. We decided to put on some wallpaper, which I still think is more of a vinyl, and you'll see it here in a roll form. So we've decided to take down what was there and apply this, which is very interesting because it washes up very nice. It looks like marble, and it just peels and applies like wallpaper. And to be warned, it does take two people. You helped me out a lot on that day.
I tried. But I wanted to have a backsplash because this is for the station, the washing station, which is our reused and relocated our cupboards and countertop from our old kitchen to repurpose it to use for the garden. So I can clean up, wash up, do everything that I need to do throughout the garden season for cleaning up before I go inside. And so I needed a backsplash here. And I really like the results.
I like how you handle that screwdriver.
Well, I'm trying. I'm struggling, and you didn't help me.
No, why did you learn?
Here's the final results, and I can wipe it. I'm decorating for 2025. I wanted the studio to look, really nice. And so anything that was broken in the kitchen or have a million cracks in it, it comes out to the studio to be repurposed and reused. And someone gave me some beautiful planters for Christmas, and here's the finished product. We even had the rental guys, they installed this hose for us.
Yeah, they
So
were retracting hose.
easy, accessible. This is what I love. My double sink, I didn't want to throw this out, my stainless steel sink, for the life of me. So I wanted to repurpose it for my garden duties, washing my containers, disinfecting my containers, and getting them ready for the summer season, storing them away, and getting them ready for the fall months when I have to bring my plants inside again.
And that was part of our kitchen rental plan all along, was to keep what we could and just repurpose it, because I think the only thing we didn't use was the pantry, because it was such a shallow cabinet.
Right, we couldn't fit it because our garage kind of fit. It was huge, but it really can't fit 2 cars. But we had enough room to use a lot of it for storage, a workshop, countertops, and etc., and still fit the car in there. So we will link that video below on how we put the studio together. And I wanted a beautiful place to work for my potting and my cleaning up and repurpose. And I didn't want anything to go in the landfill.
It wasn't just you. I needed space to fix things.
You needed space to fix things. Now you have a huge countertop to fix things.
And lots of sockets for power tools and charging batteries for your hedge trimmers and stuff. That's like right. That. And don't drink that bottle of wine, because it's full of...
I repurposed my bottles of wine for my fertilizers.
Yeah.
And so therefore, this is the new look for the studio for 2025. And our son took a look at it and thought it was real marble from a distance. Like, no.
2.2 seconds.
Yes, but I can at least wipe it now. I have a nice clean space. I don't feel guilty about throwing all the stuff in the landfill.
Nope.
And I'm repurposing it for a good cause. I have very, very pampered garden. The Pampered Garden Studio.
It looks pampered to me. So we're going to end this video with a sunset view of the magnolia in the backyard. With all of that said, we'd just like to say thank you everyone for watching.